people ask me what my most anticipated movie of 2025 is, they're probably thinking I'm going to say Superman. Which is correct. Superman looks absolutely incredible with breathtaking visuals, well done costume design, and just an all-around stellar cast, but, well, we don't need to get into that right now. After that predictable answer, they'll ask for any other movies I'm excited for, and I'll immediately respond with Thunderbolts, which surprises a lot of people. They go, really? The Thunderbolts? What about Fantastic Four, or Captain America Brave New World, or hell, Jurassic World Rebirth, or whatever other popular movies coming out this year? To which I simply respond with, well, Thunderbolts is going to be the sleeper hit of the year, and quite honestly, is the 2025 Underdog story. But why is that? Why is nobody talking about this movie outside of the Twitter cesspool? And why is it that I think Thunderbolts is Marvel's Underdog story?
The Flintstones has been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Okay, so, Thunderbolts, Asterix, was announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2022 and was pitched as the conclusion to the MCU's fifth phase, where it would connect the loose plot threads established in a few prior MCU titles like Black Widow and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, almost acting as the next Avengers movie. I mean, it even secured the May release date that's always held by said Avengers movies. A few months after that, at D23, the cast was announced, with Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, David Harbour, Hannah John Kamen, Olga Kurylenko, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus all set to return in the film, where we also got a first look at some early concept art for the film. We later learned that Lewis Pullman would play Sentry, whoever that guy is, and that Beef director Jake Schreier would direct, with Lee Sung-jin writing the script. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, Lee Sung-jin wrote episodes for The Bear and Beef. So the dude knows how to write a pretty good script. Anyways, production began in February 2024 and lasted all the way to June. The cast then made an appearance at Comic-Con 2024, where the trailer was released later in September, where it was relatively well received by fans. But there were some fans that were a little skeptical of the lack of characters like Zemo, Abomination, or really just a lot of them who appeared in the Thunderbolts comics. So now that we're all caught up, let's talk shop. Thunderbolts looks incredible, if you ask me. I mean, the cast and their chemistry from the trailers looks electric. Jake's directing is such a breath of fresh air, with his usage of darker colors with a higher saturation is just such a great decision, because now you get the sequences in Utah that stand out so much more, where you get stunningly lit shots like this, and this. The action looks great, particularly the sequences in the vault, and the writing is shaping out to be pretty solid too. So if you ask me, this movie is shaping up to be one of the better MCU movies.
You mean alphabet spell energy from A to Z with a capital E. Oh, gee, these letters happen to be just a little bit better. Crazy wabbit.
The term underdog is used to describe a person or group in a competition, either in a sport or the creative field, who is largely expected to lose or be the loser. This definition is the textbook example of who the Thunderbolts are, a group that consists of Marvel's most overlooked and underappreciated characters who come together to probably save the world. Compare them to the Avengers, who are Marvel's A-listers, the top dogs, if we're sticking to this analogy. The Thunderbolts consists of characters who, as explained by Yelena in the trailer, are just drifting, who don't have any purpose. Characters like Yelena, who seem to just mindlessly complete contracts without any real fulfillment in her life. Bucky Barnes, who during the events of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, fully reformed from the Winter Soldier mantle and is now a member of Congress. John Walker was once Captain America and is now just an agent, still hung up over who he was even neglecting his own child. The Red Guardian was Russia's answer to Captain America, but was forgotten about and left behind. Ghost is literally the MCU's forgotten villain, not having been seen since 2018 in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Taskmaster was a product of her father's schemes, ultimately losing complete control of her life, and now just being left as a contract killer because that's all what she knows. All of these characters are forgotten toys just drifting around without purpose or fulfillment, which is reflected in the costume designs and the dark colors of the film. The Thunderbolts are quite literally Marvel's underdog team. I mean, really? Nobody expects these guys to defeat Sentry, right? Wait, who's that again?
Beep beep is so good it makes you feel as frisky as the Roadrunner. Beep beep.
2025 is an interesting year for the comic book movie genre. DC is entering its new era with James Gunn and Peter Safran at the helm, where Superman and Peacemaker will release during the summer. And Marvel's coming off the heels of a pretty quiet year with only one movie and 4 shows released in 2024. Now, Marvel is releasing 3 movies and 6 shows, which is quite a lot if you ask me. Daredevil Born Again, Fantastic Four, First Steps, and Captain America Brave New World are massive movies that will certainly make a lot of money and garner good viewership numbers. But what's interesting to me is Thunderbolts. I feel like nobody is talking about this film, at least not to the extent of these other comic book productions. Now, it could just be because we're still a few months away from release, but even with the Covenant May release date, feels like this movie is flying under the radar. I'm partially excited for this though, because if the movie's good, it'll be awesome seeing fans come around to this movie, especially because these characters will be returning in Avengers Doomsday in 2026, as confirmed by Kevin Feige at Comic-Con. Thunderbolts feels completely different compared to everything else. It feels gritty and grounded, with only a few characters appearing with actual superpowers, which could be a nice change of pace compared to all the craziness that's been happening in the MCU lately. I am, however, a bit worried about the box office of this movie. I'm worried it's going to massively underperform, leading to more creative and character-driven projects like this one to be put on the back burner in favor of more nostalgia-bait, unoriginal storytelling the industry's been leaning towards recently. Not only is Thunderbolts the underdog story of the MCU, it's also the underdog story of 2025. So genuinely, I ask you guys this as a massive fan of what we've seen so far. As someone who has been excited for this movie since its inception at Comic-Con 2022, please give Thunderbolts a shot. I know Zemo and Abomination are in here, and it veers pretty far away from the original source material, but I'm confident in what Jake Schreier, Lee Sung-jin, and the entire cast and crew have come up with. Let's show Marvel that we want more of these MCU team-up movies with some lesser-known characters that have inspired artistic direction and intent, that leans into the fun side of these characters and builds unique dynamics and chemistry with Marvel's side characters. But, hey, what do I know? Seriously though, who the hell is Sentry? Hey, what's up guys? So, funny story. Everything you just saw, was written like 2 weeks ago, like a week or 2 ago, so, and edited like a couple days ago. But if you didn't know, they dropped a trailer at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was like 4 days ago, as of the time I recorded this. So I thought I should at least talk about the new trailer because it does go into a few things. So first of all, Sentry looks dope. I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan of Sentry. I think he looks really dope. I love the costume. I love the distinction between him and the Void. I think that's awesome. I love the Breakfast Club vibes that they're doing with this. I think that's awesome. You know, the Wheaties poster is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I love the dynamic between the team. It looks so unique and so fresh, and the action looks great. Everything kind of going on in New York and Avengers Tower looks awesome. The CGI looks perfect. The Void just, it's peak. It's peak. So that's really all I have to say. It looks peak. So I thought I'd just record a little segment about that. So thank you guys very much for watching the first video. We're gonna see how long this goes. We're gonna see how long I get into this for, and yeah, don't expect a lot of videos. expect one maybe every month. Just really whenever I get the urge to talk about something that I really like, or whatever's fresh, right? So expect some MCU, some DC, maybe a bit of Star Wars if Disney gets their act together. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you guys later.